Paris, the city of romance and beauty, with a history to savour. Its magnificent architecture, which includes some of the best-known sites in all of Europe, continues to attract tourists from all over the world. But in 7 years' time, the visitors may have a different focus as the Ryder Cup comes to town. Le Golf National is a favourite of Thomas Levet and Jean Van De Velde. It'll become the first course in mainland Europe in a decade to host the Ryder Cup in 2018. Only a stone's throw away from one of France's most famous tourist attractions, the Chateau of Versailles, Le Golf National has earned a high ranking in the eyes of the many pro golfers who've taken up its challenge.
Oh, it's an excellent test. I mean, it's matured now. It's over 20 years of age. It's a very difficult test of golf. You need to know your way around. You need to know the golf course. Great finish, very demanding. There's no bailout here. You really need to hit the right shot at the right time. And if you don't, well, you're going to pay the price sooner or later.
Very good design. I mean, even the first couple of starting holes, the first and the second over water, that gets the blood going a bit in the first couple of holes. And the last 4 holes are very good. You know, you put that anywhere in the world, the last 4 holes, any tournament, whether it's a major or not, to do well, and it's a good, exciting finish.
I mean, the golf course in general is fantastic, but the last 4 holes, especially, you know, with the water around 3 of the last 4 greens, and, you know, anything can basically happen within the tournament, and anybody can come from the pack to win.
The course, which was completed in 1990, combines the typical features of a Scottish links course with fairway features and green formations more commonly found on the manicured American golf layouts. According to former French Open winner Philip Golding, the opening hole is a prime example of such a design.
You obviously have your target in mind, whether it's the bush or the advertising board to hit the drive or 3-wood. A lot of players will probably hit 3-wood. And then you're going in with, it depends on obviously where the pin position is. You know, this morning we hit wedge, but you could go, I went 5-iron last year, you know, so it depends on the wind as well. But the second hole in particular is a really daunting hole. You know, it's slightly elevated across water, and all you see is the water. You know, a bit of green, then you see the sand behind the green. Today we're hitting 3-4 irons, slightly into your face. Again, you just want to hit the green, 2-putt and get out there onto the next hole, par 5, and go from there.
But the real action, and the amen corner if you like at Le Golf National, are the last 4 holes.
15 is very difficult. I always find that you've got to be the closest you are to the water on the tee shot. The more rewarding it's the second shot, because then you can come in with an iron. If you play really too short, you might just stop at the beginning of that down slope, and then you have a downhill lie chasing a bit away from you. Usually the prevailing wind is off the left, and you can end up, you know, depending on the pin position, having a 7-6 iron or whatever. Is not that comfortable. So, you know, really the selection of the tee is vital.
Hit the fairway. Today we're hitting like rescue, and then it's a wedge. But you can hit 3-wood. I've hit driver there before. You know, it depends on the conditions again. Yeah, you're hitting a wedge or 9-iron with your second shot. You know, obviously you have to hit the fairway there. There's no other place to do that. You know, you have to be bold and take your target and let it go.
The next challenge is deceptive. It's only a short par 3, but windy conditions can dictate a dramatic variation in club selection.
It just shows you that par 3s don't have to be 200 metres long these days. You know, we hit 8-iron downwind today. You can hit 6-iron, 5-iron, 7-iron, but it's not a long, like you don't have to hit 3-wood or 3-iron in there. But the water on the right eats into you on the right-hand side, bunkers on the left. It all folds in from the left to the right. You know, on the last day, the pin will be on the right-hand side. Players will be going pin high on the left, and it's quite a slippery putt from the left to the right, uphill then slightly down, quite quick.
And then there's a testing par 4 at 440 metres. The 17th is one of those holes that you're happy to complete with par.
It's 480-odd yards. Fortunately, they cut the rough down on the right-hand side now, so you can miss it on the right, and it all folds into the fairway. One place you cannot go is on the left, so players will favour the right-hand side of the fairway. Even if you hit it on the right side of the mound, it all seems to fold into the fairway. But again, you know, we're hitting rescue in there this morning. It's playing long, you know, just slightly elevated green as well. So, again, you take 4 there every time. There's no question about that.
And many a French Open has been decided at the final hole, the 18th.
I think 18 is the best of a hole, really. 18, first you need to find the fairway, which is very often on the left side. Not that many people have the power to overtake all the bunkers on the right. And then after that, you know, it's not that the shot is massively long or whatever, but it's quite deceptive because you're a little bit lower than that level of where the green is. So all you see is a plank of wood at the front of the green. Of course, you see the part of the green, but you don't realize how big a target it is. And the fact of the matter is that if you get away from the shot a little bit, the carry gets longer and longer and longer toward the right side. So it's very often it's a splash there.
A lot of players will hit 3-wood off the tee and leave themselves in with a 7 or 8 iron, but the wind can change a lot. And if it doesn't blow you hitting driver, then you hit a long iron again. If you look here, you can just see the water surrounding the last couple of holes. It is fantastic and great design.
And while the Ryder Cup is still a long way off in 2018, there's little doubt that Le Golf National will provide a stern challenge for those selected to represent Europe or the United States.
I was so happy for France to get the Ryder Cup. I know there was 4 or 5 other countries involved, but it's designed for the Ryder Cup. You know, it's perfectly rebuilt, you know, the stadium course, and it's getting better and better every year. Alstom have done a beautiful job, and the tented villages are better, and more players are coming back to play. So it's a wonderful event.